Law and order must be restored. To every voter in Milwaukee, to every voter living in the inner city, or every forgotten stretch of our society, I'm running to offer you a much better future, a much better job. The other party, the Democratic Party, nominated the personification of special interest corruption. We reject the bigotry of Hillary Clinton, which panders to and talks down to communities of color and sees them only as votes. That's all they care about, not as individual human beings worthy of a better future.
Donald Trump in Milwaukee last night wanted to send a signal to African-American voters. He slammed Hillary Clinton and Democratic leaders, their records in inner cities for years. With me now, former Republican Florida Congressman, retired Lieutenant Colonel Allen West. Colonel, welcome. This is the first time that Donald Trump has specifically addressed the African-American community. Now, he's facing some tough polls with some minority groups, but if he resonates on economic issues, simplification of the tax code, will that shift his campaign favorably?
Well, I think one of the most important things, and it's a pleasure to be with you, Deidre, is to talk about the history of the Democrat Party with the black community. The Democrat Party was the party of slavery. The Democrat Party did not support the 13th, 14th, or 15th Amendments. When the Republicans lost control of the House and the Senate at the turn of the century, it was the Democrat Party that instituted the Ku Klux Klan, that instituted Jim Crow laws that enforced segregation. They were the party of lynchings. They were the party of literacy tests and poll taxes. And they were the party that really was not for the 1964 Civil Rights legislation. If it had not been for Senate Republicans, Everett Dirksen leading that, the Civil Rights legislation would not have passed, because Al Gore Sr. and Robert Byrd Jr., who was a grand wizard with the Klan, stood against that Civil Rights legislation. And when you go from the Great Society programs of Lyndon Johnson, the Democrat president, to today, you will see the decimation of the family, the black family especially, the rise of the out-of-wedlock birth rates. You don't hear anyone from the Democrat Party talking about better education opportunities in the inner city, nor do they talk about small business entrepreneurship and growth in the inner city. So
well, they're talking about it, but they're talking about, at least Hillary Clinton is, by taxing the rich to pay for programs for everyone.
Yeah. But that is just the simple mantra of progressive socialism, which is the redistribution of wealth, because what they need to do is continue to create and expand a welfare nanny state, a dependency society, because they don't believe in equality of opportunity, which allows someone like me from the inner city of Atlanta, Georgia, to be sitting here talking with you today. They believe in an equality of outcomes, and they're the ones that determine those outcomes. And I think it's very important that Donald Trump makes that philosophical or principle delineation between who he is and what he believes in, and that opportunity instead of the dependency that Hillary Clinton is talking about.
Colonel, thank you for sharing your thoughts on that. We wanted to hear them. I want to tap, if you don't mind, your expertise on national security. NSA website down for an entire day, just began working. Hackers calling themselves the shadow brokers say they stole some of the NSA's most powerful top secret hacking tools, posted some of the links online, and plan to auction off the rest. Many believe that the Kremlin had a direct hand in the hack, and it's worth noting the exact source is difficult to prove. But how concerned should we be that hackers for hire, as it seems like they are, can get into what's supposed to be our most secure agency?
Well, we should be very concerned, Deidre, about the fact that we are not able to protect our national security secrets, to include a person that had a private email server in a bathroom, and we don't know where those links could end up. But we have a United States Cyber Command which is infantile. It is minuscule when you think about the efforts that China and Russia and others are putting towards cyber warfare. And if we don't get serious, we know that people have hacked into the government agencies previously to this, and we have had many government employees' records being taken. But for them to be able to tap into our National Security Agency, this is an act of war, and we need to be able to trace these individuals and, punish them to the highest extent.
Lieutenant Colonel Allen West, thank you as always.
Thank you, Deidre.